It's been a while, but we're back. Welcome to another episode of All Aboard with Adam and Ned. We have a special guest that we're going to bring in later on, but we appreciate the time we're given on the KMS network, and we're going to get right to it because this will be, as usual, our 30-minute quick hits of the last week, and then we'll be sliding over into our own RSS feed on our own channel for more in-depth and more volatile and hostile discussion. So what you got, Adam? What did you pick the topics, and they all look pretty good?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say that I think it was a rousing success that our last video was just you, and no one had to look at me. Unfortunately, I couldn't do anything about them hearing me, but it was just, I think that we really hit our stride by having the video only be of you. Nobody wants to see me.
That was so
people
bizarre.
Barely want to hear me.
That never happened.
Yeah, I have
before.
no idea what happened.
Right.
I have no idea what happened, but again, I'm okay with it. I don't think anyone needs to see me. But yeah, no. So, like you said, we've got a couple of KMS topics, but we also have a special guest here to join us.
Special guest.
So yeah, I mean, let's bring him in without any further ado, straight from his rousing, successful appearance on the Kirk Minahan show. So who better to talk to recap the week than the one and only Michael Montanti.
Thank you.
Correct. If you want to dox me, it's
Miguel Montante is now Michael Montanti.
That's Michael Montanti. That's the real way. And I'll tell you what, it was nervous going on with Kirk, but it doesn't pale in comparison to coming on with you guys. I'm shaking in my boots.
Yep. Well, let me start by, because I know that you love to ask all the Jewish questions and get into the Jew stuff. I got to ask you.
Jewish stuff sounds a little rough, but okay.
Oh, listen, continue. You know what? If I'm gonna put on my stereotyping hat here, how many people in your family and in your life call you Mikey?
You have to remember, I'm not very close to my family.
Right. Yeah, but
I would say only people on Twitter. The only people that call me Mikey are now deceased.
Oh,
so
okay.
no living.
So they don't call you.
Yeah, no, nope.
Interesting. I just, in my head, it was like, hey, it's Mikey Montanti.
No, that's a very racial stereotype.
Of course, Adam leads off with the most ridiculous question, but the real question we have is, you were representing all the Minifans, all the Twitter Minifans. We want to know, how was the wedding?
Wedding was great. By far the best wedding ever, the most expensive wedding I've ever been to. It was unreal. We were hearing estimates of 400,000 on the low to probably 750. It was unrealistic. Did it like a full Italian. The wedding started at 5, ended at 1 a.m. Four courses. The bar was open all night, and even the appetizer hour, whatever the fuck they call it. They had crabs, they had lobster. It was. I'm a very picky eater, so I only do like the little meat section where they carve off some meat for you. But it was unreal. 3 bands. Sal the Voice. I don't know if you guys watch TV. I think I know him. I don't know why, but I've followed him on Instagram for 3 years. So when I saw him come out on stage, oh, that's cool. Yeah, it was spectacular. And my Uncle Phil showed up, so I wasn't the lone Montanti there. So it was nice.
Good.
How many people were there?
I'd say between 350 and 500.
Wow. At the reception.
Yeah.
But even for that, I mean, $400,000 is that's hard.
Trust me, if
I
you
can't
saw
even
it,
imagine.
If you saw it, you'd be like, oh, I get it.
I guess, yeah. I mean, listen, it sounds it. I just, the richest weddings I've been to, I feel like probably can't even come close to $400,000.
No way.
And
we really lowballed in the $300 too, by the way. If I knew what it was going to be, honestly, might have broke the bank right now. But probably, it's hard to make money in this fucking economy. But I would say $600 between the two of us.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But it was a good time.
Jesus.
I had a good time.
Adam would have had to drain at least one Roth IRA for that.
At least.
Christ. Of course, he couldn't ask his dad for permission for that because that to tap into the trust fund, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, no. It's way too early.
No.
Way too early for that.
But no, it was a good time. Definitely a good time.
Great. Now let's hit on the subjects. I think Adam, we have an exclusive here. You haven't even recorded your own show or dropped one of your own shows.
No,
have you?
No.
So good. So okay, give us a blow by blow. What time did you get to the studio? What were you wearing? What was it like?
So yeah,
and while you do this, I'm just gonna step away for a second while I deal with my screaming kids.
I hear
beat his children.
Yeah. Poor bastards, poor kids. So I went up the day before. Stayed with a known Minifan. Went out to the bar before. Watched the Celtics win. Sadly that night. Since then they've lost the game. Stayed on a futon, which really put me up against it. I was up till 1 a.m. Woke up at 4:30. Didn't sleep well. Had a little bit of a cold. But going in there, got there early. I left. I heard people. There's be there at 9:30. I heard people saying like, "Hey, listen, even if you're, 14 miles away, like give yourself 90 minutes." So I did, and I got to the studio with maybe 45 minutes to spare. Ran to Dunkin', got my coffee. Got there like half hour early. Chopped it up a little bit with Justin and Dave, and they weren't kidding at all. As soon as Kirk walks in, they fucking turned to stone. It was so weird. He has such a presence about him, but it was bizarre. It was just weird seeing something, something you listen to daily, and they don't promote the YouTube that much, but
Right.
I've seen the YouTube enough to where, you see this clip or whatever, whether it's on Instagram, Twitter, and you kind of see the room, and now you're actually in the room, and it was cool. I was in the infamous chair where, Chris got up like a fucking goblin. So it was cool. And I really was like, I didn't want to break the microphone. It was far away from me, but I just felt like I had this weird, just like feeling that if I tried to move it and make it comfortable, I'd break the whole fucking thing. I just didn't want to be that guy. So I kind of just left it there for a little bit, but it was a really cool experience.
So I'll say this, and because I remember when Chris had his first appearance, not like in this run, the first time he was on a while ago. You could tell how nervous he was, and like you've heard it from other people there. I actually think you didn't sound like you were really nervous being in there, being next to Kirk. I mean, what was going through your head?
Like I said, it was super. It was more surreal. It was almost like you're in shock. Like when you're in shock, you can be in a crazy situation. You might get really hurt. You're like in literal shock, and you kind of stay calm. I don't know if it's because I was like sleep deprived. And shout out to Chris. I was a little hungover that morning. It was a kind of big combo of the whole thing. I was kind of like I was just there, and it was what it was. I still was nervous, but what really threw me off more than anything is you'll see like when we're doing this. If I'm not talking, I'm drinking, whether it's vodka, a beer, or water or coffee. If I'm not talking, my ADHD and just my kind of the way I operate is I always am drinking something. It's like fucking 4 minutes in. Kirk's like, "Are you okay? You keep drinking." Like, you're like shaking, and then I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like he doesn't like obviously doesn't know me or anything. So like I like, have my hands on my knees. I'm like real nervous. That's what actually shook me more than anything. Was getting called out for that.
He'll find those little quirks and the little ticks. And once he gets a lever in there, he's Archimedes. He just works that thing.
And that's what made me nervous because like, oh fuck, that's not just a normal person calling out. Like this is someone who could like. Really expose this thing that you do your whole time. But no, it was definitely cool. Definitely cool.
So how did it feel though? Forget your episode. Let's go back a week. What was going through your head when you were listening? And Kirk says, who actually was the first person who came to my mind? That crazy son of a bitch.
I know.
Montanti. What's going through your head there?
It was funny. I actually got a call from I said this on the show. Nadeau was one who told me. I thought he was like making a weird joke, and I didn't get it. Then like, a couple more texts poured in, but I swear to God, and I said this to Justin on one of his shows, and he was like, "That's definitely not it, dude. Like, trust me, it's the abortion call." I stand by it. The fact that Menners, because they played a lot of sound from Menners' show, and for whatever reason, they put in the description, although it wasn't even mentioned once, they put in Montante sucks. So he listened to the show, and he must have just saw that and be like, like people don't like this guy, or maybe people do like this guy, but from what I know about him, was just the abortion call. He could be a little wacky, he could be a little out there. Like he might. That I think planted the seed in his head to kind of where it led to that. So thank you, Menners, for doing that. I'm steadfast on that. I think that did happen, but yeah, it was hilarious to hear. And then from the point of hearing that, and then actually getting the invite, were two totally different things. And I think Cullinane reached out to me the next day, and because when he called me, I saved his number because if you're in sales, I have over 2,000 contacts on my phone, and it's always the name, and it'll be like where they're from. So it'll be like, for instance, in sales, like Chris, meeting in Edgewater, New Jersey, cold out. Like that'll be my contact, but I'll know my brain who that is. So I had Cullinane on my phone, and he was like, "Hey, like, would you want to come on tomorrow?" And then like an old person, like a grandparent, he signed off Cullinane. I was like, "Yeah, Cullinane, I know it's you idiot. Like you don't have to sign a text." And not come on tomorrow, come on next week. I said, yeah, obviously. So I was able to move stuff around for work because I do work up there a decent amount. So it was surreal, but I kind of keep it on the down low just because if Kirk, he's liable to come in the next day and say, "Hey, who did I say was coming?" I know, no, we're good. We're all set on that. So I didn't want to like, set that thing up. So I just set it up and I said, hey, Cullinane, like lock me in for next Thursday. Just do me a favor. Next Wednesday, just give me confirmation and I'll leave the office Wednesday, be there Wednesday night and be there Thursday morning. He did just as such. So it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, also, talking about it could have pissed him off, and then he would have been like, "Well, fuck."
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah. You do have to tread. It's a difficult position because they brought you in for a reason. They think you're entertaining, so you have to be entertaining, but you can't go too far and be too out there. You got to know you got to skate your lane, I guess, as they say. You got to know what your place is, what your role is, and don't go over it. I thought you did great because I watched you on YouTube as well, and when you weren't speaking, the camera was kind of on you, and you're following the conversation, not trying to jump in too much, but jumping in enough. If you sit there like a lump, he'll say something. If you're too over the top, he'll say something. So
you have to walk the fine line.
I think you played it right.
You can't make it about you because it's the Kirk Minahan show. No one gives a fuck about you. But then you can't disappear because then it's like, oh, is he starting? So it is a fine line. I had a couple people reach out to me like, hey, like you're okay, but I thought you really could have went on about this. You could have done that.
Yeah.
Like, listen, man, listen.
Armchair quarterbacks.
I was just trying to be, like, it's not about me, and I'm not trying to, fuck it up or make it. So I think I did it. It was just listen. I don't care if I did well or not. Obviously, what's hilarious is you look at the Twitter reaction. And it's so funny. It's just such a little case study in how fucked up we are as a society. How really, the great uniter didn't unite anybody. You look at people on Twitter who hate me. You can go on their Twitter within 4 seconds. Within 4 seconds, you'll see pronouns. You'll see something on their Twitter that will show you they're so far left. And then when people are like, hey, I don't know this guy. He's pretty good. And they follow me. Within 4 seconds, you'll see they're far right wing. It's so fucked up how we are as a society where people like me depending on how you think politically. It's like that's so you should hate me on or like me regardless of your political opinion, but that is where we are. It was a wild thing to see. So
they spend a lot of fun. He did spend a lot of time on your looks. I guess you threw him off. I mean, I know how old you are.
I'm the oldest looking 30. I know. And it's
we've
so
known each other for
like,
years. So
yeah.
So I know how old you are. And it's like you're definitely young enough to be my son. In fact, I would have been a 30-year-old father for you. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, but I'm like, and he just wouldn't let it go. It's like, really?
I get it, dude. I've been buying. So when I was 18, because I've been a boozer for a while, I've been going, when I was 16, I've been going to bars since I was 16 in my hometown. And because I've always had the beard. The hairline's always been kind of questionable. I wasn't fat back then. That's the one thing I'll say. I think being fat adds a couple years to you.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I've always looked older. And I remember turning 21. And I've maybe been carded 8 times in my entire life. And I was like, what the fuck? I could have been doing a lot more before I turned 21. So I've kind of got that my whole life. Yeah. But it's just funny. People that don't like know me or like follow my stuff, obviously, because, it's a small operation. People were fucking blown away by that. And that was funny.
You do remind me of the guy from Stranger Things who is considerably older than you, but you
get what I'm saying? Yeah. Someone said to me, is like trying to take a dig at me one day. I was like, damn, like, no, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. I can't think of the name of the actor, but yeah.
I've never seen it, so I have no idea. But
great show.
So let's move on for a little bit though, and talk a little bit of Dave Cullinane here, because he had 2 ridiculous situations going on, both of which touched on the episode that you were there. The first being his just absolute Swiss cheese hole-sized story about the rub and tug, and then the ridiculousness of his Kickstarter scam. So
right.
Mike, you're the guest. You tell us where you want to start. You want to start with Dave getting a rub and tug, or you want to start?
We'll start with the rub and tug. Start with the rub and tug. I mean, my thoughts on it are, growing up, so I was a garbage man 3 weeks after I graduated high school, and like that's a blue collar industry, and like they all would joke about like rub and tugs, and I don't think they did it frequently, but maybe once every other year they would all go. And so I'm surprised I never got dragged to one of those. So that's the only experience I truly know about those places. And they exist. And I got news for you. The places they told me that exist, I drove past them every day. And it's the last thing you would honestly expect. I swear to God. And so they're out there. So he's not like some sexual little deviant for going to them. But yeah, you can just tell he's on skates trying to talk about it. Maybe his wife's going to listen to it. It might get back to somebody. But, at that point, either full on lie, like I've never done that, or just be completely honest. He tried to toe the middle lane, and he just got exposed.
I mean, the story as he originally told it made 0 sense. Talking about getting the full bath but not getting the tug and telling them to stop. I mean, it was just so clearly full of shit. And then the whole thing with the friendly gunfire. I'm like, I mean,
yeah,
friendly gunfire. Yeah.
What the fuck is friendly gunfire?
This isn't the Gaza. This is not the Gaza. This is not the Gaza Strip. Okay, friendly gunfire.
It ain't friendly there.
Yeah. So that was blatant bullshit. And I tried to bring that up on the show. I was like, dude, be honest. Like, why did? But then what's funny? So if you take those two things, like, Colleen's a fucking liar. He's full of shit. I guess his honesty really shined through with the fucking him getting taken advantage of by Kurt Menefee. They had the backing there to prove it.
Yeah, which, by the way, I mean, listen, I went to the website after Kirk said what the URL was, and I mean, it does look his call on it looking like Juke Micronics, which, by the way, the movie was called Shattered Glass. Just it was so spot on. It was so obviously bullshit. But I also, again, I just loved the fact that Dave, was talking about how he gave the money so that he could help them grow, but he wasn't an investor.
Yeah, that's where he's stepped
on Kickstarter.
He's too stupid.
Which is a website for investing.
You help something grow.
It was a while ago, right?
Right.
5 years.
So 5 years.
No, he was 31 then.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. You're right. I thought it was more than that. You're right. 31.
But
if I invested 5 years ago, I was 25. So that's where you're like, okay, almost.
Yeah.
Just be honest. But yeah, listen, I like the product. And I thought I could make, if this thing took off, I'd be on the ground floor. But he couldn't do that.
Yeah. He was denying that like way too much.
I will defend Dave. He's retweeted a video of, I guess, maybe one of the first things he saw that got him to buy into it. The Kurt Menefee thing, it's like a 2 minute and like 10-second video. I could understand if you have the money and you're into golf. I get it. It actually looked 10 times more legitimate than it appeared after hearing the story. Doesn't make it right what he did, or he's still a moron, but the video was way more legit than I thought it was.
I mean,
I don't know if you guys seen that, but it looked. I get it. I get the premise.
I will just say this, and Ned, you can. I'm curious to hear if what your wife's reaction would be. But if I was 30 and I spent $1,000 on a potential golf toy for myself that never ended up coming through, I mean, I would be petrified of my wife's reaction to that.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
That's why I brought that up, and I brought that up, and I thought he was going to say, I don't know if he's lying or not, but I thought he was going to say, "Oh no, that was a completely Dave Cullinane, endeavor. I spent my own money on that."
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, she knew about that. I was like, all right, like I don't know if you're lying or if she just doesn't. But okay, that took me by surprise, but yeah, no. Great story. I'm glad that some stupid little Genesis story of how I came across Kirk led to that, because that was hilarious to hear. That was.
But I mean, listen, that's Kirk's skills. Is that you go from talking about something stupid to
little nugget,
right?
A little tiny,
and then the KMS show just turns it into,
and he mines it into gold.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, oh yeah, I thought of Kirk Menefee. I thought the name I saw you weren't, obviously because he's a black individual. Kirk is not black. And then Dave I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? He goes, yeah, he owes me $995. But anyway, and I was like, what could that mean? What the fuck does that mean?
So what's the prognosis? Are you going back?
Who knows? I mean, they're taking time off.
That's true. Yeah, this is the last week, right? I think this is the last.
Yeah, and they did it well. They released the episode today. Something that's pre-recorded. Who knows? I would like to go back, but I don't care. Like the fact that I never even thought it was a possibility to go in. So the fact that I got to go in and kind of get a little behind the scenes look of a podcast I listen to every time it comes out was definitely cool. Like I said, that's why even if people shit on me after it went on, like I got to go in. It was cool. I don't give a fuck.
So what? Exactly.
Yeah, I don't care. So I would go back. I'm there enough, but I'm also curious to see who else goes in there. Who do you guys think would be some good Minifan guests? Obviously take out Barstool people, because obviously they're all going to be good. Who are some off the radar people that you guys think would be good to see?
I mean, I think a no-brainer would be Red. I think that's just kind of a no-brainer right there.
I think that'd be kind of hard for him until
that's a pretty heavy brainer right
there.
But
another couple of weeks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but that works out time-wise though.
Yeah.
What's wrong? Why not Red right now?
His job.
Yeah.
His job.
I'm happy to say I don't know what that means, but carry on.
Well, what job? Who doesn't work in the summer? I didn't want to say.
Oh, he's a teacher.
I mean, in all fairness, Red's been doxxed 5,000 times.
That's
so
true.
I'm not saying where he works.
I know. I'm saying in defense of you, like, no, but I think Red. The truth is, and I know Kirk will never do it just because he wants to do it. I would love to see Manners in there.
He's going to be there,
but it'll never happen.
You want to bet?
In the world,
I'll make a gentleman's bet, $50 that Manners will absolutely be in studio.
It won't because how badly he wants it. He won't even give him the reins to the YouTube, but he'll let him in.
Kirk will never do it just because he wants to.
Because it means too much to him. Yes,
but I also think he knows it will be great. It'll be great content. And he's not that. He won't go that far.
Kirk, he doesn't care enough. He doesn't care enough. I don't think there's a chance.
Well, that would be a golden
I would love to see it.
I think it'd be funny to see it, and I would like to see it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's definitely a chance. But I think an off the radar Minifan. I'm telling you, I said it with Justin. I think Ted Sellers would be fucking funny in there.
Ted,
yeah.
We want to get Ted in on here and break. I think Ted would be fantastic on that show.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the second. It might on the second story, so it might be a little issue getting him up there. But once you get him up there, man, he'll shine.
Is there no elevator?
It's got to have access. It's got to have some sort of access.
I didn't.
Not if it's an old building. Then.
From what I remember, I went a couple flights of stairs. I don't think they had access.
It's an old building in Watertown. I don't think that it'll.
Yeah, maybe Blind Mike could carry him up there. That might be a good bit. But I think I think Ted is a witty little guy. I think he'd be very, very good on there.
Yep.
Yeah, he's funny. Obviously VD, but I mean the logistics behind that are a little tough.
That was mine. I was going to go with Vigilance Day, but he's LA, so in California based. It'd be rare. He comes here to South Florida more than we'd ever go to Boston. Right?
I would actually like to see you, Ned. I would love to see you in there. I think you could.
First of all, he wouldn't have me. A and B. I'm not interesting enough, and C. I mean, we could time it, but it'd be a lot of work.
Ned, I just went in there.
I was gonna say, right?
Anything's open. Anything's open here.
I think there's only one person of the three of us that has literally 0.000.
But you're so boring and uninteresting that you might be a good one to go in there. So who knows? I think anything's in play.
Well, no, Adam will go.
There's no chance
if he was there.
Oh my God,
he'd be laughing nervously.
Oh God, it would be a disaster. There's no way it would ever work.
Making it all about himself.
Taking care of the YouTube channel, which I think is like a Dave Rodriguez. Did I just dox him? Maybe, but every Portuguese named Rodriguez, either Dave or even little Mickey. Little Mickey does his thing pretty consistently.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, I mean, he clearly went head to head with Kirk when he was willing to give it back to him when they
that was
when
WWE. I don't think it was authentic.
Yeah, that's but that's gonna hurt his image with Kirk because Kirk doesn't want that
show though. And even if it does hurt his image, bring it on the show.
Yeah, no,
I think you're a little weasel. True. Talk about it.
So I listened. I didn't watch the full YouTube, but I did listen, of course, the full episode. What was your feeling about the calls?
Oh, I mean, I've been a bad caller myself, so I get it. The calls are brutal.
I've heard you calling just a few times, but you're not regular by any means.
No, it's the calls are so fucking tough, dude. They're it's kind of similar to like a Barcel Idol, where like, all right, now's your time to shine, and it's just so inauthentic. You have to be, I don't know, it's just not built for like my brain. So I don't even like hearing it. It makes me secondhand awkward. Like, unless it calls like a fucking no brainer or it's directed like towards something that you're interested in. But like, hey, like, it's Bill Williams. How's it going? Bill, how's it going, Bill? So I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was tough, but when the calls are good, the calls are good. And you know what? It makes the show unique. So I get it.
And by the way, that's like why I haven't called in a long time, because I don't have anything to ask or anything like that. But when I used to call in, because of the same thing, like, you have this very short window to actually like say what you want to say. I wrote out, like, I literally wrote notes on like, okay, here's my question, here's what I'm going to ask there. So like this way I at least had it in front of me so that like when I spoke to him, I wouldn't just,
Shalom, boys.
Yeah,
exactly. Hey, Adam.
And I got news for you.
God.
I was 1,000% more nervous when that phone went than I was being in studio. And I'm not, when I say 1,000%,
that makes sense. No, that makes
1,000% because it's awkward. That's when I do Montante's World. I'll have people like, hey, like, we'll do the audio, right? Like, no, I need to fucking see you. I can't talk to someone without look. So being in studio was 1,000 times easier. Those phone calls are nerve wracking. So I get it.
It's a Tim and Canton, the pros who've been doing this
Oh,
for most of their adult life. I would get tongue twisted. I know on a call for work or something like that, no problem. But I know if I wanted to get a joke or a point or the next level, I couldn't do it. There's no way. I'd trip up. I'd start stammering, stuttering. Nah, not for me.
Or you'll say your joke perfectly, and Kirk will be like, "I'm sorry, what was that?"
Yeah.
He's elsewhere. You're like, "Oh fuck!" Like the whole thing's ruined.
Yep.
Oh, so I respect.
And also that delay. Also, that slight delay.
There is a delay.
Throws you off beyond.
It's enough to fucking derail the whole thing. So I respect the callers.
And you're right. It does do that quite a bit because the delay does. Kirk doesn't hear the caller, or the caller doesn't hear Kirk. Right.
Yep. And when you need something to be simpatico, it's pretty easy. So that's when the callers came in. I took a step back. I drank my water because I don't know the whole thing. But listen, that's a part of the show. So I completely comprehend it.
Before we turn it in, because I know Adam's in a rush. He's got a hard stop. But
no, we got 20 more minutes.
But no, we're going to go on our own podcast and get really. But I just want to one last thing. I really like that interview, the interview podcast with the two guests. I'm going to go and get the book, and was it me or did that guy who Kirk spoke to about the Phil Mickelson story? Did he just get thrown out of a live press conference?
Correct.
Wow.
Yes.
Talk about timing.
No kidding.
It dropped Friday and he got thrown out. I'm like, wait, is that the same guy? And I realized it is the same guy. So that was wild. I thought, did you guys give that a listen? Either one of you?
Haven't had.
I'm only halfway through. I'm gonna listen to it on my way to work tomorrow. But I actually
That's
saw
good.
it because Menners. I know what the fuck Menners was talking about. But yeah, I was able to connect the dots. Yeah, and Greg Norman was the bad guy because there's a picture of him getting thrown out, and Greg Norman like little
Greg Norman's in the background
behind him, loving it. Yeah, that was funny to see. But I haven't listened to that part yet, but I have like the overall idea of it. But that was funny.
But I do like the movie aspect of it too, and Kirk's really good with that. And that author was fantastic. I do wish though that Cullinane would have had him like go into a microphone or something, because when they go off, as you guys know probably from work, when you go off the speaker of your computer, you sound like shit.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how good your connection is, it's just not as good. And
all
Kirk sounded
about
great,
that,
but I was straining, getting this guy, listening to this guy. But he was very good. That book looks really interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kirk has been talking it up, so I'm good with. So I definitely want to check it out, and I'm definitely probably gonna add the book to my reading list. But
real quick, last thing: how many books have you guys each read in your life?
My life?
Life?
Yeah.
I used to read a book. I used to read a book a week before.
Yeah, me too. 10,000.
Holy shit!
I have a 2,400 square foot house. I have boxes of books in my garage, and I have books all through the house.
And I have a 4,000 square foot house, and I've got
boxes. Adam's just doing the book measuring thing.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, I have stuff. I have books I've not been. I moved here in 2014. I have books I haven't even unpacked.
So Adam, what's your number?
Honestly, I have no idea. It's significantly less than 10,000, but it's definitely over 1,000.
I just threw that out there. I mean,
fuck.
I love reading. I actually started reading again this year. I've made it a really big goal to start reading again.
Yeah.
And so
how many have you read this year, Adam?
This year I'm at 30 now.
30 books.
God.
Yeah. Which isn't great, but
I'm not that many.
No, that's impressive.
I'm at about 10 because the phone fucks me up. I gotta.
But again, I'm really like I'm making an effort now because like my kids are.
Wait, reading books or audiobooks?
Reading. Fuck no. Reading
doesn't count, right? That doesn't count, right?
No,
it does not count.
No, I had this fight with my in-laws because my in-laws have this whole competition.
No, because I've heard 1,000 podcasts. I mean, that's essentially a story being told. No. That would be like, oh, Mike's read fucking 400 books this year. No, I haven't.
No fucking chance. No chance. No. Audio books don't count. You got to actually read it. If you want to read it on your Kindle, great, that's fine. But you actually have to read it. Also, I read on Sabbath, so what the fuck else?
That's true. You
not much else you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'd be masturbating for 12 hours straight.
I mean,
well, you're 30.
Before kids.
That's personally what I would do. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would do. But all right, thanks.
All right. On that note, we we'll wrap it here. Check us out on our RSS feed. We'll have Mike with us there as well. So check out to hear more. Download, rate, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at allaboard_pod. I'll get to him in a second. He's at SnarkNet on Twitter. I'm at Adam in Jersey on Twitter. And check out Montante's World also. Great podcast. Lots of fun. Good old fashioned Jersey guy.
Thanks, fellas.
Choo choo.